The Epic of Gilgamesh, Episode 1. Gilgamesh, king of Uruk, son of King Lugalbanda and the goddess Ninsun, said to have been fashioned by Enki himself, and that Enki looked just like him. Or to better say, Gilgamesh looked just like Enki, and that he was a beautiful, breathtaking, beautiful man. He was over 10 feet tall and super mighty. Gilgamesh was strutting the streets of Uruk, causing havoc as usual. Like any other tyrant, completely aware of his position. His army was at his beck and call, with no man willing to challenge him, while other men suffered throughout the city because of Gilgamesh. And many fathers were left without sons because of him. But Gilgamesh made sure to have his way with women as well. He took his fill of them, consequently leaving mothers without daughters. If there was to be a marriage within the city, Gilgamesh would go to that marriage before the husband and wife could consummate said marriage, and he would take her, and there was no opposing him. Now that's bad. That's very bad. Like, dude. Am I right? That's just nasty. The people of Uruk could take no more, so they went straight to Anu to complain. Anu was the head deity of the Sumerian and Akkadian pantheon. Anu had to listen for hours about the complaints about Gilgamesh, taking the lives of sons of these people and using their daughters and ruining the wives. They said of him that every groom was left without a bride, every warrior was left without a wife, and people trampled in the streets by him. What? And how everyone was extremely impotent to confront him. There was nothing anyone could do. They asked for Anu's help because they said, "This is not the king we asked for." He was wise and strong, all right. And he did spectacular deeds for the city. But it was no excuse for his tyranny. Having heard all of these reasonable demands, the great Anu tells his creations to seek out the goddess Aruru. And he said to ask her to fashion them another man, equal in might to Gilgamesh. He had to be equal to Gilgamesh in every way. This new man would finally bring peace to the splendorous city. The people of Uruk listened to Anu and summoned the goddess Aruru for that specific purpose. And after hearing them out, the goddess decided to help them and did exactly what they asked her to. Legend goes that she washed her hands, grabbed some clay, fashioned him into a creature, and threw it in the wild. Sure enough, a man stood there, breathing his first breath. There stood Enkidu. And Enkidu in his own way was impressive. Now, while Gilgamesh looked like Enki, Enkidu looked just like the god Ninurta. His massive hair was long as a woman's, so was his beard. Enkidu wore nothing but rags. He was a wild man. He was not of any people nor of any city. He was a wild man. He found his next of kin in the wildlife that surrounded him. He drank water with the gazelles and ate grass with them, and frolicked around with fish and other beasts, not be unnoticed for long, as a hunter-trapper nearby saw the large Enkidu and couldn't believe himself, frolicking with the wild beast as if he was one of them. Enkidu scared him very much, but he had to continue to go there every day. He kept spotting this wild man, which made him feel very uneasy. That it brought him to speak to his father about this man. He told his father that Enkidu was the mightiest man in the land, whose strength was as strong as a meteor. He spoke in length of what this wild man was capable of doing. But the key point of his story was to tell the father what Enkidu was doing to his animal traps. Enkidu was protecting the animals. He was filling every hole, destroying every trap. Basically, Enkidu was freeing all the animals, all of his friends. He was the wild man protecting these animals. And now the hunter, it risked to ruin his livelihood. And the hunter's father tells him to go to Uruk and seek out the mighty Gilgamesh. But he also instructed his son to go seek out the courtesan Shamat and to bring her back with him. She was to seduce Enkidu. The trapper did exactly what the father told him. He went to Uruk, seeked out Gilgamesh, and told him all about the wild man and what he was doing. Although Gilgamesh was a tyrant, he was still full of wisdom, and he instructed the trapper to do exactly what his father had said, to get the courtesan and to bring her to seduce Enkidu in the wild. He gave him permission to take Shamat, the exalted harlot, with him. The plan was simple. Shamat was to go to the river where Enkidu was known to go and drink, and to lay herself and start removing her clothing. Oh my. And this was to subdue the beast, Enkidu. Now, what do you think? Do you think that this plan is going to succeed? I'll tell you all about it in the next episode.